I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. But let's just say that's a part. It's a big part. And that's very important to me. Then, in closing, because I know you're all sleeping.
No, you're good. Keep going, man.
No, I mean, now, if any of you have read the petition, you know that I wrote a reference letter. It was 6 pages long.
Thank you, Jesus.
If you're smart enough to check the document attributes, you'll know that it took me 9 hours and 38 minutes to complete it. It was the most important letter I ever wrote. But there's a reason, because I believe in these guys. I really do. I've had some people say the chartering is going to be the high point. And, that's wonderful. Things will taper off or whatever. I'm not going to believe it for a second with these guys. Clemson University is Delta Theta's oyster. And these guys are very crafty in making pearls. And it's going to be really amazing what happens. And you know what? Maybe you say, maybe. Just watch. You'll see. It's hard to say what to say about this. And that, one of the reasons it took me 9 hours to write that letter was trying to figure out the words about what it meant to be involved with these guys and whether I mentioned it or not. I've never learned more about working with undergraduates than I learned with working with these guys. Because being an advisor it's not a one-way street. I don't spit stuff out. It's a lot of listening, a lot of coaching, and I have to thank Dabo for kind of helping me out with that and forming a philosophy that would gel with Clemson. I'm pissed he wasn't here. Some of you know the work that was done to get him here, but I think he's out of town. Maybe at the first anniversary. But he's had an effect on this chapter. And he came from Alabama. I came from Oglethorpe. I think he probably had a bigger impact than I did. But these guys, I just can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what happens. And in closing, I was thinking about, how do I close this letter to clinch our chartering? Because I knew it was a hard road, and we were in heavy competition. But I thought about it, and I just woke up at like 4:30 in the morning or something. I was like, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss was a Greek. He had some cool things to say. He wrote a book called Oh, the Places You'll Go. And so I did put a quote from that Dr. Seuss book in my reference letter. So I like to read it for you. You have the brains in your head. You have the feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the ones that will decide where you go. And to me, that kind of sums up what I think about these guys, because they have what it takes, and they're different, and it's really going to be amazing where they go. And so I'm supposed to segue into the next speaker, and I've already said enough about Kirk. I know you're going to hear enough about Kirk. But the thing about it is, you know what? It's when you talk about brotherhood and crossing the ages and all that kind of stuff, and how I'm like loving to be here, and that was a part of it. And it's a good thing that they've removed long-distance charges from cell phones, because I've spent a godly number of hours on the phone with this gentleman. And to me, to have a part to bring back to this college and to Chi Phi is something that Kirk and his fledgling colony brought to this place, and all of the things that they accomplished. And believe me, as a history nut, I've studied that. They took this campus by storm. We're kind of taking it by coming around the back side of the stadium, and nobody's really figured it out that we're here. Tough, but they will. And it's just amazing to be able to be here with Kirk, because he, I never really thought of it so much as how he helped me in my tailgate prowess, as much as I thought about one day that I'm going to pay that debt back by being here to see this chapter rechartered. And so I'd like to have Kirk come up here, because it's your podium. I came up with a way to embarrass him, because one night we were talking on the phone and he was like, well, you guys have got to get serious. When you play sports, you got to go out there in your own jerseys. And I'm like, well, as a matter of fact,
it's a slight embellishment.
We do. And I know you probably forgot about this, but I want to present Kirk with his Delta Theta, modern Delta Theta jersey. So thank you so much for your support in making this happen, because alumni are very important to this chapter, and it's going to help us go to the next level. So with that, I yield the floor.
Thank you, Steve. These are very kind words. I don't think it was worthy of half the stuff you said, but I do have to call you out. I'm a little lost in here with all of the talking that we've done and everything you sent me in these Iliads of emails. I would have expected a speech prepared for me, so I'm a little, or a teleprompter or something. So I'm a little caught off guard. I'm going to kind of shoot from the hip here a little bit. But I do want to say I kind of look back about 15 years ago, the first time I was asked to speak or had to speak at one of these things, and I had been the alpha for 2 years from colonization up until chartering, and we had it planned that I was going to turn over the reins. Josh Ogilevitz, who was our gamma, was also basically our founding officers were turning over the reins. So I was kind of like on cloud nine. I'd kind of thrown in the towel by the time the chartering ceremony came up. So I was like 4 or 5 Long Island iced teas deep. And what you guys may not realize, well, I'm sure most of you don't realize, at South Carolina, when we were in school, there was no such thing as Freeport in the state of South Carolina. So everything was 1.75 ounce milliliter or 1.75 ounce bottle. So you weren't getting a little splash of gin, a little splash. No, you're getting the whole time. I mean, so after 5 Long Island iced teas, Ron Frank, who was the grand alpha, I was like, you got to speak. Brian Denalo, who was our chartering ceremony coordinator, was like, dude, you got to get up there. You got to get up there and talk. Well, anyway. I guess my point of it is, shortly after graduation, I gave up hard spirits, not for health reasons or anything cool like that, but because I actually started working for Anheuser-Busch. I managed to stay employed with for the last 13 years. Don't ask me how.
Good job getting that plug in there, Kirk.
So I guess over the past 15 years, I've done a couple congresses where I've been able to speak as Grand Iota, Grand Theta, Alpha Congress one time. So nobody ever since then has said anything about, hey, maybe cut it off. And I've been slugging these things all night. So I guess the moral of the story is to the young gentlemen in the room, if you want to get invited back to speak at these things, cut out the hard spirits and drink Bud Light. I want to kind of echo some of the comments that were made and kind of elaborate on it a little bit and kind of go back to the origins of Chi Phi at Clemson, only because it really reminds me of the story that a lot of you guys have here. It starts in the fall of 2000. Clemson University was an awesome place to be as a student at the time. We were just coming off being named Time Magazine Public University of the Year. Our new president, James Barker, had just unveiled his One Clemson 10-year plan. where his vision was to be a top 10 public university. We were building like mad from an architectural standpoint. Tommy Bowden was in his second year. We were 8-0, ranked number 3 in the country after beating Brother Soderquist's alma mater up there in Charlottesville. Still to this day, the number 1 attended game in the history of the University of Virginia. But it was a fun time, and we had a group of guys that lived on Johnstone F4, which doesn't exist anymore. I'm going to continue to date myself as I continue to speak here. But we were the last people to live in that awesome residence, I guess you'd call it. But a couple guys went through Rush, didn't really see what they wanted, you know, and we decided we were gonna remain